This was another one of those weeks where I have not been in the shop to do too much. The nice thing about this part of the build is that when I was doing stuff like Bondo work, I would work all week just to get the Bondo a little smoother and the car would barely look any different. But right now, I don't have the time to do that, but the work is easy, so every time I do something, it looks like a significant improvement. That being said, I got new tie rod boots. I'm gonna leave a link to these in the description. They're from Amazon. If you try to buy brand new tie rod boots from any of the common 240 supply websites like Juku, ISR, anything like that, they're like 60 bucks. Those are, I think, 14 bucks a piece on Amazon. I'm gonna check their fit right now, but I read the comments and they say that they fit great. So I'm gonna install those, and then after I install those, I will be able to put the outer tie rods on. After that, I'm putting the brake lines on. I guess I'm just gonna have to figure those out later, even though they're not pretty, because I need to get this stuff wrapped up. I'm gonna bang this stuff out really quick, and then we'll see where we end up. Issue right now that is two things. The original tie rod from the S13 does not fit on this inner tie rod, this custom inner tie rod, so I can't reuse this. The shaft from the outer tie rod is too wide to fit inside the knuckle. The easiest solution that I can think of is that I'm going to be able to drill this center hole out to this diameter that you see right here. It's really inconvenient. A drill bit this size, but I can't find it right now. And then on top of that, the threads for this outer tie rod are crossed inside here, so that's what I get for buying used parts. I'm gonna have to go to Michelle's shop, find a thread tap to rethread this outer tie rod, and then either buy a new drill bit, or maybe I can borrow one of Michelle's to make this hole in the knuckle. So I can't put the steering together. It's not a big deal, I'll figure it out. What I can do, degrease and pressure wash the motor. That way it dries all night, and then tomorrow I come in, hit it with the air compressor, and then we get started on the EGR Delete if I can. The motor looks really good considering all I did was pressure wash it. I would like to really polish it out, but like I said, I don't have time on my side right now, so this will suffice for now, at least to move this car. Today, it's early. I'm working on Wednesday again, which I don't love doing because it puts me in a bit of a pinch to get this video out by tomorrow. My game plan, first and foremost, is I want to get the brake lines mounted, and then I'm going to take the knuckles off over to Michelle's shop and then get on the milling and ream that hole out so that the stud from the outer tie rod fits inside the knuckles. And also, I'm going to take the tie rod that has cross threads, ream that out with a thread chaser. So that way I should have good threads that tie rod should screw into the inner. I have a few small EGR things. I'm going to see if Michelle's willing to weld up. You can buy a kit for this stuff, but after shipping, it's stupid expensive, so it's really dumb. I'd rather just weld a piece of metal in front of it. It solves the same problem. I'm going to try and knock as much of this out as I can today. We'll get home tonight. I'll start this video, and you guys will see it tomorrow afternoon. We're going to get something done today. Alright, so I thought this would be simple, but as it turns out, this new hardware that I put in the part of the knuckle that mounts into the coilover, I believe the threads are already stripped inside here. So this nut will not come off. It just spins. I'm gonna have to cut it off. Thank you. All the information as far as how to do the EGR delete on this motor, I'm getting from the Offbeat Garage video. It's from a couple years ago, but he does a great job explaining it. I'm pretty much replicating what he did for the EGR delete, so I'm not going to go into detail. If you want to see that video, I'll drop a link below. I was after on the intake side, piece of iron, so all I have to do is weld this hole shut. Saw me take this whole nest of like EGR, vacuum, whatever related lines off. It was one connected here. These are the controls for the butterflies that are inside the intake. I'm gonna take this whole thing out. This is gonna get capped off. But in addition, I'm pretty sure that when you have the fuel coming in, comes in through this line, goes through and around to the front of the fuel rail, fills the fuel rail, and then I want to say that this thing right here, this little valve or whatever it is somehow controlled by something related to the EGR stuff. And then I guess it lets a certain amount of fuel back to the return. I can simplify this as well if I cut this whole second section off and just unbolt it right there. So the fuel will come in here, fill the fuel rail, then I can design something so it'll just come right off to the return, off the back of the motor. Simplify that, get rid of this. But I'm hoping to be able to do that. And then the PCV. You see it? This is the whole butterfly system. Tossing all this stuff out. And then I'm going to cut this nub off just because I don't need it and I can't get the screw out. Patch this hole with some JB weld and a piece of metal. I'll show you guys this weather out here. I actually just lost power after I shut the camera off. Flip the breakers and I can't get the power to come back on. So that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna get out of here, start editing this video for tomorrow, and then do a little bit more research on the EGR Delete and the PCV system. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next week.